How are you, ma'am? Good. Hope we didn't get in trouble. That'll be cool.
That is awesome.
Worldwide shipping is available on this cream pupper. What a great day to be alive.
Once in a lifetime opportunity.
Runs hard.
Wow. Outstanding. So grab your cup of Joe and let's go. Good morning, Zach.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's feeling well and doing well. Today's a great day and one of my favorite days of the month, which we're blessed to be able to do this almost once a month. It's Shelby Day. And there's Sean P. just pulled up. We're at the Minneapolis airport. He just drove over 900 miles. Here we are in Prior Lake. Wish us luck. You, ma'am?
This is Mary Conrad.
All right, nice to meet you. So your husband was Michael John?
Yeah.
Okay.
Carla. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Sherry.
I'm Sherry.
Hi.
Yep.
I'm Bill.
Hi, Bill.
My husband Bill.
Kathy, my
Hi, Kathy.
sister.
We have the title copy from
70,
April 15th of 1976.
76.
So Mike bought the car on April 15th of 1976. It's a little easier for me when I have it right in front of me.
Well, let's pull it out and look at
So
it.
let's go. Okay.
You did a really good note with what
So far, what we've learned is we believe Michael John Conroy bought the car in 76. Let's just see how far back we can get this paperwork.
Wow.
So if I drove by and saw this garage door open, I would lock up the brakes. And we have found it that way, haven't we, Sean?
Yes, we have.
So last tag is 92. I want to see the paperwork before we delve into the car.
We cleaned out the garage. I wish I'd known it was you. I wouldn't have bothered. So these were bits and pieces that we just found around. Here are the buck tags. We can't tell you why they're off the car.
Okay.
They're off the car, but the plate is on and matches.
Right, so we've got the original serial number with the J in it for the 302.
Right.
And that is the corresponding number for car 1171.
Okay, and this, I didn't know where that came from. It has a little glue, but then I saw it on a picture of somebody else's down around there.
Yep, it goes on the door sill plate.
So I didn't know at the time it was part of the car. This, Mike went to the first international convention in August of 76.
So
in
this
Oakland.
car was in California. Okay.
Well, he bought it from a man, we believe, named Paul Amlickson, and this is through family stories. His mother, whose garage he kept it in up until 2015 in Minneapolis, has told us stories about this Paul Amlickson is who he bought it from. He came from California and was working at Data Card with Mike.
Okay.
And that was how it got to Minnesota, as far as we know. Mike didn't have time. He got sick and passed really quickly. And
Okay.
so we didn't have time to get a lot of that. And he didn't even know Mary back then. They married in 1992, so.
I'm surprised to see that, but I'll tell you why in a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see what else you got.
Okay, and then when he repainted it, we're thinking maybe he replaced the letters, but he kept
common.
these because they maybe took them off and they broke. Some
Right.
have the points, some don't.
Very common.
I didn't, like I said, know it was going to be somebody so knowledgeable. I thought it was maybe we were selling it to some rookie, and so
Well, I'm glad you did.
I put this together. And this is the original title here,
Okay.
and
That's what it's titled in now.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Does
Okay.
anybody in the family remember him having this car longer than this?
No, we're sure.
Okay.
We're
Alright.
sure
The date.
that was it.
Okay.
So, and I did try to find Paul Amlickson, just Google whatever, and no idea.
How do you spell the last name?
Well, I'm guessing it's A-M-L, what did I come up
Is
with?
it L-I-C-H-S-O-N?
Maybe.
Or C-K-S-O-N?
Amlickson.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember now when I was Googling it. This was a few months ago.
Okay.
He always intended, I think, to restore it in retirement. But
Okay.
he'd been retired 6 years, and he belonged to a gun club and had friends and an extensive collection, which is now, we have also, this is like our last thing.
Last item of the estate.
Of the estate.
Okay.
And but yeah, I mean,
I guess we
6
don't
gun
know.
safes downstairs, chucked to the brim, but gone now. Everything's, that's
We don't
all.
really know what this car really, why it was so special to him. I mean, he just had it all
Well,
the
people
time.
love Shelby's. I
Just
mean,
loved it.
when we buy these cars, which we buy a little bit of everything. I love all types of cars. It's one of my favorite, but it's generally the most emotional car to get bought from somebody, especially if they're still here.
Yeah.
We do buy a lot of them, and they're tough. They're not the easiest ones to buy. It's much easier to buy a Corvette. Shelby people love them. Is there still a Minard Ford in Minneapolis? M-I-N-A-R-D?
I don't know.
You have to look it up.
I'm just curious. I mean, I didn't know if you guys have ever heard of that.
Minard Ford?
Yeah. Parts bought out of Sacramento. That's neat. Shelby Club membership. Is there a reproduction tag underneath there? Which we'll look at a
We
second.
don't think so.
Okay, well that's the original tag, which is correct. I've looked it up. 1171 corresponds with this. And this is neat on the door warranty tags, which you guys hear me talk about this often. The DSO code on Mustangs
That's it.
is a 2-digit code.
Would have been right there.
This one's not. On the Shelby's on 68, it was done as a batch code. So this is what the batch where the car was in.
Normally, you have to
So you got color code T for candy apple red.
in order to see the VIN.
So this is one of the things early on that
Oh, we didn't know about that.
well, if you're buying a Shelby, you really need to know it's real.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Well,
That's why I was kind of upset those were off the car.
Well, that's
Why?
actually good. So
Oh, is it? Okay.
what I normally do is I'll take one rivet loose, and that's kind of okay in the Shelby world,
Okay.
and swing it and check it.
Okay.
So this number corresponds with that
With
number.
that.
So it's correct. So this is actually a pretty highly optioned car, and there's something unusual about this car that he may or may not have known. I'm surprised there's nothing in there on this. This was actually a Hertz rental car.
Really?
Yes. So generally when people think about the Hertz rental racers, they think about 1966, the black with gold cars.
Yeah.
So they did 1,000 cars that year, which was a huge amount. 67, they tried to redo the program. They'd ordered 30 black cars. It failed.
Okay.
And then in 68, they redid it. There were 224 of these made for 68.
Wow.
This car, this is what I believe, and I won't be able to prove this till I actually have the title in my hands and I
Sure.
own it. But this car was sold new here in Minneapolis, at Menard.
Okay, because that DSO tag, but I don't know how to interpret them. I looked on the internet.
Right.
Said it was a special order from Richmond, and it was manufactured in Metuchen, and then they had 96, and the numbers from 90 to 99, according to the thing on the internet, said that it was an export.
Now, this
So-
is one of the 224 Hertz cars.
Wow.
You could have ordered an export through that program, which is not crazy rare. It's actually a relatively big number because there's about 4,500 of these cars. Shelby's built in 68.
Oh, okay.
So 1,500 of them were GT350s. 1,000 were fastbacks.
This is automatic too.
About 550 of them were automatics.
Okay.
So, and then 20% of those were red, which was the most common color. So you're down around 100 cars.
Oh, wow.
So the bug tag, I think, said 11A, which would have been January 11th of
Right.
68.
That sounds right.
But it didn't, I couldn't find anything else.
Well, that DSO right there shows the batch the car was built in.
Okay.
But then after you take the 100 red cars, most of them were black. We're talking about 70% interior.
Okay.
Then 39 of those cars had air conditioning, and 31 of them were optioned like this. So we commonly find out that these are one-off cars. There were 31 of these built just like this. But what's special about this car, since it was a rental car, a lot of those cars got crashed. And tore up and wadded up and whatever. As far back as I've run the history of this car, I don't think it's ever left this area, except for going to
Really?
California for a show.
Oh,
I don't think this car has ever been in California.
really?
But I'll know
That's-
that. I'll know that next couple of weeks.
That's
So-
really interesting.
I don't think this car has ever left. It's never been more than about
Okay.
30 miles of the dealership,
Okay.
from what I can
I
tell.
checked that delership that doesn't exist
Okay.
anymore. It
Well,
may have-
yeah, that's where it came in. Was Menard. It's been sitting for a long time.
That's no lie.
We won't get into minutiae of that. I want to look at the
You
interior
can
of this
find
car.
other parts around the garage here too that belong.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
So this is also was an AC car, even though the compressor and evaporator are missing. Here's your AC vents. It was an AM radio car from new. It's got a cassette in it now, which is not a big deal. And here's what else I'm very interested in. Showing 82,000 miles. The interior is really nice for an 82,000 mile car. Shoulder reels are here. That's really nice. Now here's the $1 million question, Shelby. How rusty is it?
Bum, bum, bum.
It's better than I would anticipate, but it's not rust free. But it's not bad.
It's not rust through, right? I see bubbling back here.
No, it's not bad.
See the trunk.
It's had some work done. You got the keys?
Thought I did.
That's probably the original spare.
I'm gonna go. It looks like it.
It's great. So this car was a hubcap car too. It was not a 10-spoke Kelsey Hayes wheel car. I have the hubcaps for it as well. So we've so far what the car's missing. Some of the AC pieces I don't know that we have, but it won't be a big deal to come up with that. Look at the interior, Sean. It's nice.
I've seen it. It's beautiful. It's really cool.
So to me, from my first perception of this car is, we do the mechanical first and see what we got. See if the motor's good or not. If it's not, the motor comes out, rebuild the motor, go through the seals in the transmission, go back in and see where we're at that. I really like the interior. Paint and body wise, probably needs that.
Oh yeah.
Are the brakes locked up?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, all right.
You know, we tried once. Our son helped us get us on those wheelie things, and then we couldn't move it.
Okay.
Two of us.
So
So maybe
we're
one
gonna-
off of those. But there's a jack right behind you there. That
It'd be nice if we can just spin it and back up right there.
Well, I like the car. It's like you guys described. Interior's probably a little bit better than anticipated. The body probably needs a little bit more than I anticipated, but that's fine. It's a good trade-off. I'm not going to get into the minutia, checking the carburetor number and block and all that stuff right now, because I'm just going to agree to pay what we talked about on the phone.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, it sounds like it's a more unusual one than we knew.
Well, I think the Hertz Rental Racer program is a neat deal. I think that's cool. I don't know that it adds a lot of value to the car.
No.
It just means it had a hard life early on.
Well, we've all driven a rental car.
That's right. We have. We've been nicer to our rental cars over the past few years than we used to be, but
We're getting old, Dennis.
yeah. Wiser there already.
Older and wiser. Now we're getting some momentum. Wheels spinning. Pushing. Yes.
You think it's gonna go smooth, Sean?
And better.
You think the rear brakes are locked up?
We're about to find out.
That's not a real answer.
Well, I have the trays just in case.
The reason that whole process was so smooth is because Zach helped us. I had it perfectly straight until Sean started steering.
What? What do you mean? You got the bridges there.
One last question.
Okay.
First of all, thanks for all your time and effort you put into this deal.
Thank you very much.
Very great
I feel
working with
really
you.
blessed that you guys came.
I'm blessed to be here.
Awesome job.
What is your favorite local restaurant in Prior Lake?
I'm not actually from Prior Lake.
Okay. It looks like we need a brunch or a lunch.
See, now
Perhaps we could
I'm
ask
not
somebody.
very helpful.
We could ask somebody that's local.
Mary.
Z's?
Z's, they tell me Z's in Prior Lake is
Okay.
the best option.
Well, that's what we're going to do. If you want to join us, great. If not, I will give you an update when we get running and driving.
Well, awesome. We would love some updates, and it's just kind of the labor of love that we know you
I
put
agree.
into this.
Thanks
It's
again.
nice to know it's going to be on the road
Great.
again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was great working with y'all. All right.
Awesome. Thank
Off
you.
to Z's.
Safe drive.
Homemade hot.
strawberry rhubarb jam in that bottle that is gluten-free.
Strawberry what jam?
Strawberry rhubarb.
Strawberry rhubarb jam for gluten-free bread.
Just a little ranch dressing.
Oh, yes.
Thanks.
Okay, so this is a Cajun breakfast. I'm gonna have to read this because there's a lot here. Hash browns topped with sauteed onions, peppers, mushrooms, and cheese. Topped with 2 eggs over easy, smothered in hollandaise sauce. And served with andouille sausage. I wasn't expecting that in Minnesota, but Sherry said it's not unusual to see Cajun food in Minnesota. This is the most interesting thing I could find in the menu. Let's see if we get everything on the best buy.
An awful lot of Minnesota.
Then we can go from there. Looks good.
Always interesting. Hot.
It's got jalapenos on too. Good choice, Mary. Thank you. Bill and Sherry, thanks again for your time.
Thank you so
That was
much.
awesome.
Thank you so much, you guys.
C's Diner. I recommend it, but I would get the Cajun breakfast. How was your pot roast?
It was really good. It was really good.
Did it taste like pot roast?
Tasted like pot roast.
I had something different. It was great.
The rhubarb jam.
That's right. The rhubarb jam was very good. That was different.
Missed that.
All right, we're on the way to the airport. Back to Wylie. Good morning. It is a good morning. I feel great. Why? Because of my Helix Sleep mattress. It has been 1 year now. This journey started with us in Helix Sleep in my new mattress, July of last year. It's now July. Been a great year. I feel better when I wake up every morning. One thing that happens to me is when I get a lead on Shelby Mustangs, I still get really excited and have a hard time going to sleep. But Helix Sleep helps that. We're gonna have a Shelby episode today. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including their award-winning Luxe and Ultra Premium Elite collections. The Helix Plus, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers. And the Helix Kids mattress designed for growing bodies and endorsed by child sleep and medical experts. And remember, keep in mind, there's a 100-night sleep trial. When I took the sleep quiz, they asked how you sleep, on your back, on your side. I sleep on the left side. As you guys know out there already, Helix Sleep makes premium mattresses and bedding that are customized to fit your needs and conveniently shipped right to your door. Thanks again to Helix Sleep for sponsoring our show. It's helped me a lot. It's been a great year. They're having 27% off site-wide from July 1st to 31st. Go to Helix Sleep and get some great sleep. It's changed my life in the fact that I'm sleeping more, I feel better in the morning. And remember, if you're looking to make your current mattress more comfortable, check out Helix Sleep mattress toppers. They work great. All right, Alex, good car?
It is, actually.
It actually is a good car. So we got it back, looking through the records. We didn't know how long he had actually owned this car, but we were told since 1976. That's as far back as we can get right now because Saks records are now being digitized. And they don't have them. So here we are. We think it had one owner prior to this owner. We're not sure, but that's what the family thinks. Getting the car back, looking at it, and through all the records again pretty closely, all the receipts he had were from 1977, 76, 77, when he was prepping this car to go to a rally in California, which you saw that plaque. First thing when we got it back is Alex was like, hey, this is probably what happened to the car in 92. Because we have the license plate where he was planning on taking the car back out in 1992. He upped the registration and he wanted to have one last hurrah in it. Well, the water pump was locked up. Where the story gets very interesting, and I'm always learning stuff at Shelby's, both of us. The wheels. They're right there. These wheels are really cool. Anyway, dad joke of the day. The date codes on these tires are 1977. These are what was on the car. Y'all saw in the video when we rescued it. This is crazy. We kind of flipped through this a little hastily when we bought the car, but there's the dash plaque I was referring to, 1976. And then while he was out there and went to the show in 76, he went to a couple of the high performance places and visited and learned about high performance parts and bought some parts. But when I'm going with this back to the wheels, this is really, really neat. Look at this. Part number CD47 Shelby wheel.
That's cool.
So Alex and I have looked at a lot of these kidney bean style wheels because they were very popular on the early CJs. Mm-hmm. So he bought these in 1976. I don't know if he bought them to make the run to California or he bought them after he got back because they were bought in Minneapolis. So we've got the receipt for these wheels with a part number, with Shelby, and the wheels say Shelby on the back.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the center caps, that was one of the things we were kind of head scratching when we were done buying the car the first time, or Zach and I and Sean were looking at it, was this cast Shelby in here. It's not an emblem, but I hadn't seen that before. Anyway, are these over-the-counter only Shelby wheels, or does Shelby actually sell these wheels, or who made these wheels? There's some guys out there that are 68 experts and tell us. But what we did is, I believe all these cars left the factory with steel wheels and hubcaps in 68. I also believe that the majority of these cars now have got 10-spoke alloys on them.
Yeah.
So finding the steel wheels are tough. It does have the original factory steel wheel and the original tire, which is really cool.
Yeah, rarely ever see that now.
We bought an aftermarket set of repop steel wheels that are actually really good. They balance really well and the hubcaps fit. So those 4 wheels are new, and this is a nice original OE set of hubcaps out of our Shelby stash, which most of our stash is 67, but we do have some cool 68 stuff. So this is how the car left the factory, with these hubcaps, and those are original hubcaps. Now, back to the car itself. The interior is really nice. It's soft, no rips, no tears, clean, does not need to be restored. The motor, Alex did what we normally do. Just go on with your normal process of what you do with these motors where they set this along.
So at least with the 289s, they've been fairly okay. Just turning them over by hand and then see if they're stuck. If they aren't, go ahead and turn it over with the starter. With the Mustangs, parts are available and cheap, so we go ahead and on this car we actually had to do fuel lines front to back, new gas tank. This car came with electric pump already, so that's still there, electric pump.
Okay.
Had a different Holly on it, not original to the car, so I already had one rebuilt and set up, threw it on, she lit right up.
It was odd as the Holly that he had on there wasn't even correct for the intake.
Yeah, so it had a spread bore Holly instead of a square bore Holly, so the intake's a little bit different, and I think it's an Offenhauser intake.
It is an Offenhauser intake, and it does have the tri-Y style headers on the car. Power steering, power brake, AC car, which is missing the AC stuff under the hood. But what's neat is we didn't go back with an original cast intake or the exhaust manifolds because of this. Even though these aren't day one things, they were done 50 years ago. So Alex and I elected to leave them on there.
Yeah.
So if you scroll through, you get past the BFGs and the Shelby wheels, which this is also neat. You had them high-speed balanced.
That's cool.
Is that a big deal? No, not really. He did shocks, did an idler arm, some miscellaneous stuff. But we're gonna go, we'll go stop real quick. No, we won't. We're gonna stick on what we're supposed to be talking about. Squirrel! Offenhauser manifold. So here's the pages and pages of the 360-degree Equiflow Offenhauser that's on the car. Kind of an odd manifold, huh?
Yeah, it is. I've never seen one like that.
Runs well. And then here's your installation instructions for the header set. So we elected to leave those on there. We did have a good used Shelby air cleaner set up
Yes, we did.
in our stash, and we didn't detail it or clean it or whatever, or paint it.
It matches the patina.
Cool patina, matches that of the car. I really like that. And a bunch of these neat guides and magazines they had in here for catalogs, and see how cheaply this stuff was priced back then is crazy. But tri-Y headers were 120. They came from Cobra Performance in Sacramento, California. Very cool. Now the paint and bodywork on this car. The car has been painted one time. We have the receipts in here. It had inner truck drop-offs in the back. Nicely done. We'll put it up in there, you can see that. What was shocking to Alex and I is this car wasn't completely undercoated. Undercoated in spots, but it was, most of the cars like in Minneapolis area would have been hit pretty hard. We have not dry iced this car. We can. It has not been color sanded or buffed yet. We can. It has not been PDR'd yet because it's got a couple PDRDs in it, but it's now mechanically sound and runs and drives really well. But you got to realize back in 76, 77, you could go to Earlsheimer or Mako, and I'm not suggesting you would ever do that with a Shelby. You were talking less than $50 to paint a whole car. So to have this car painted back in the day, he's got his invoice in here for that, which is interesting because he supplied the paint and he supplied whatever necessary parts were needed with the car. according to the invoice, and it was still relatively expensive to paint this car. You know, this is in either 76 or 77. He had it done at Color Ray Car Painting and Body Works. And this was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. $535.
Expensive back then.
That was really expensive back then. I think Earl and some of the cheap guys were like $39, maybe $29. So he wasn't skipping on it back then. I also think that this car really has not seen the light of day since he was done with it, 76, 77.
Yeah.
I think his, you know, everything Alex and I looked at, it has sat that long. It does have some bubbling rust around it, but the bottom of the car is actually really good.
Yeah.
A lot of the original red oxide is still showing. It runs really good, drives really well. Let's hear it. It's going to go from dead from, I think, 1977 to alive now. It's almost 50 years. Now, when we were there, we did take the risk because it's tough to see the casting coat on these cars. You really need to take the starter off of it. And the pad on the back of these when they're dirty, which this one was a little bit dirty, is kind of tough. But I was checking it out. I saw a couple numbers back there. 2 of the 7 that were in the sequence. Alex has gotten back, took the starter off, casting number lines up right before the date of the build of the car. And sure enough, we got the pad cleaned off on the back, and those 7 numbers match. So we've got the original motor. Generally what happens in our shop when Alex and I try to film, everybody makes as much noise as they possibly can. It's great. So sorry for the background noise, that's just how things go. So power steering, power brakes, Hertz Rent Eraser. We did add 68 Minnesota tags and Hertz Rent Eraser license plate frames, and I think people need to know what it is. So let's put it up in the air so people can see the bottom of it. Again, we haven't gone to the level that we normally go to present a car to sell, but we want you to know that it's alive. And I actually like it. I don't know that we color sand and buff and go through and do all the fluff and dry ice and stuff. It's just a neat car. Let's put it up in the air and we'll actually show you what we did to the exhaust and why we did it. Again, you're going to see the bottom of this. We have not done our normal process when we're cleaning a car or prepping a car of this high value, if you will, for sale. It can be steam clean, it can be dry iced, it can be black starred, which takes away the flash rust away. It can be touched up with chassis paint. But this is how it is. Impressive for one that we have not done that style of work to. Again, Alex put brake lines on it. I'd like to point out up in here in these fenders, you can actually see, look at this, the C8 ZZ part number up in there. And there is no rust in these fenders. Now, either one of them have got all the red oxide primer on them. So, and you can see all the writing. It's quite dirty on the up in there. This one you can see it as well. So there's your tri-Y headers. We just selected to go with resonators back out the back. I don't like the transverse muffler on these cars at all. It just stops them up and backs them up. Running headers, resonators out the back with some correct style tips. Just clean. Sounds really good. Now we probably will put some kind of something to protect this rear end. You know, clean it up, knock it down a little bit. You can see all the red oxide primer all up underneath here. Floors have not been patched. Frame rails are really good. Most of these, if not all of them, have jack marks on them, don't they, Alex? And these crush really easy. These are very, very nice. Torque boxes are good. The front of this floor is soft. It probably could use a patch. I personally just leave this car and drive it as it is. But overall, it's a really good car and not undercoated, not hiding a bunch of stuff. Rear trunk drop-offs have been done. So we did a good job. And we mentioned on the car when we first found it, it does have some bubbling rust at the bottom of the quarter. It's got some bubbling rust starting at the bottom of the doors. But overall, remarkably solid car. Very good rockers too. Really good. So it had some crazy helper springs in the back, didn't it?
Yeah, and we were wondering why, and it comes to find out, I guess the reason why he parked it was the leaf spring was cracked on one side.
Yep.
So it's kind of leaning, so I guess he put those on thinking
It was going to correct it, and I think it made it worse.
It made it worse. And
so between the water pump being seized and when they put the helper springs on, they put them on, we believe the wrong way.
Yeah.
It actually cracked the spring, so this car was sidelined due to that. As you can see, we also did gas tank. Again, brake lines, fuel lines, some exhaust hangers, all that stuff, just what it needed to drive. Now, let's take it for a drive. I'm excited to drive it. I haven't got to drive it yet.
yeah.
You ready, Alex?
I'm ready.
I think it'll start better with the ignition key. What do you think?
I think so.
Alternator light's working. Wow. I like the sound of that. Strong oil pressure, huh? Tach's working, as you can see, it's cold. Nothing like driving a Shelby. The interior really is nice in this car. Now that we're doing our 9-point J turn to get out of the shop, here we go. Better than driving a red Shelby on 4th of July, huh? Anything I need to know, is everything working?
Everything's working.
Speedometer's working, and as always, Alex resets the odometers on these things as far as the trip miles. See how far he's gone. You put 7 miles on it.
That is right.
Not bad. Pretty neat. Again, we are confident this car has not been on the road since 1977. Boy, it drives good. So you didn't put any front end stuff in it, you just did shocks.
Just shocks.
Shocks and rear springs.
In the receipts, there is some steering components. Back in the 70s he did,
Oh, that's right.
but that is it.
Yeah, there are some receipts in there for steering components from the 70s, so they're probably done when we put it up. And I'll tell you what, those parts are much better than they are now.
Oh yeah, for
I guess
sure.
I'd rather have that, because it does feel really tight. Ride's good too. So to me, I don't know, I think the car just needs to be left alone. Just enjoyed. Blowing this car apart for restoration doesn't make any sense. If somebody doesn't like the 1977 paint job, it can be color sanded and buffed and brought to another level, but I just don't know that it needs it. This car looks like it's never sat outside. Look at the dash pad, look at the wood grain on the dash, look at the headliner. It's just a nice car. And we've had some rough ones, haven't we?
We have.
And we'll buy them dead or alive, but this car, I think this car was really, really taken care of, especially for 82,000 miles. There was also a receipt in there for lifters, but other than having an intake, maybe he just did that when he had the intake off.
Possibly.
But the motor doesn't sound like it's got any, other like performance stuff like Cam or anything, does it?
It does not. Sounds stock.
It sounds really good going down the road. I like the way we had the exhaust set up. We've done this on a bunch of cars. And I absolutely love these hubcaps. Like I said, I think the majority of these cars out here don't have hubcaps anymore. They've got the 10-spoke alloys. Because those wheels are so cheap and the reproductions are good. That's just kind of the route everybody's gone with over time. Again, you can see the AC vents in the dash. There's a factory air car, but all the stuff is gone under the hood. But I mean, you can see the evaporator stuff sticking out of there. I would think if somebody wanted to put AC back in this, probably vintage air would be the way to go. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Getting it back to OE stocks. It's out there because I mean, the same as all the 289 and 302 Mustangs if you want to go that route, but I don't know how many people are going to drive this thing in inclement weather anyways. It certainly doesn't look like this thing has ever been in bad weather. Fuel gauge is working, so all the gauges are working except for the clock, which is normal. It's got an aftermarket radio in it. that doesn't work, but pretty clean install. At least the hole looks good. Fog light switch is there. The fog lights are up there. Shoulder reels are here for seat belts. Console's nice. Original armrest pad. The steering wheel, compared to most of the ones that we see, in good shape. Most of them are broken. We've got big separations and gaps in them. This one does not. I love looking over that hood and seeing those louvers. It's rolled over railroad tracks. It's really quiet. It's not rattly. Good car. I know you're very respectful of these cars, Alex. Have you run it hard at all?
I haven't.
Not at all. Well, there's the popo, so we probably shouldn't do it. I shouldn't have said that. Police officers. It's amazing how tame this exhaust sounds for the way it's set up.
Sounds really good.
Yeah, it sounds great. And that's the way to make one breathe. Tri-Y headers, resonators, straight exhaust to the tips. So these test drives actually take quite a while because the traffic around here is just insane. It's like this all the time. So we got to head quite a ways out just to even get you guys a decent roller shot. But I certainly don't mind driving a Shelby.
Uh-oh. He's getting arrested. What'd you do, Dennis?
I didn't do anything. I don't get in trouble. I'm afraid of getting in trouble. What happens when you don't listen to the police. Things are different in Texas.
Surprised they're not on horses.
We do have horses. Matter of fact, we're going to pass South Fork Ranch here in a minute when the TV show Dallas was. And they usually have a 4th of July event out there every year. So we're looking forward to fireworks. Hope you guys look forward to 4th of July. I think this is a great 4th of July special. How are you, ma'am? Good. Hope we didn't get in trouble. I don't think we will. As I just said, I don't think this car's been any inclement weather. It's starting to rain. Pretty sure there's no salt in the rain in Texas, though. Just a little bit of rain. We just passed the C10. That's kind of cool. So, just my opinion. I'll get on my soapbox for a minute. Alex sometimes agrees with me, and sometimes he doesn't. Wouldn't you rather have a real Shelby
Absolutely.
than a clone or a cloak or a fakey dude?
Real Shelby all the way.
We're driving a real Shelby. This thing runs great. We get a little bit of open road here and see how it breathes. Just cruising. Let's drop her down here. Full strong, shifts hard. How cool is that? Do you want a Shelby? Yes. Do you want a clone? No. Do you want a real one? Yes. Is this car real? Yes. And it runs good. Really good. We might just got in trouble though. Hopefully not.
We're good.
So there's South Fork Ranch to your right. And the hornworms. These half moon things are almost always broken, aren't they, Alex?
Yep.
Turn signals are working, and there is actually a receipt in the catalog for when they worked on the sequential lights in the back. So not a ton of documentation, but I guess you don't need a ton of documentation when the car was only on the road from 68 to 77. The car really does drive good. I would not take this car apart. You know, I walked out this morning and saw it sitting in the bay because you had it staged for me to look at. I didn't see the oil on the ground.
Nope.
Transmission shifts good, motor sound. I just don't see a whole lot of reason to do much more to this car unless you want to do some extra cosmetics. But even back in the day in high school, you just didn't see that many of these running around. I mean, in high school, I guess the cool thing for me new were the Fox bodies. But, and again, this is a rental racer, one of the 224 cars, kind of neat. You saw when we rescued the car, we did put the door warranty tag back on the door with the correct rivets from Kevin Marty, and we did put the Shelby tag back on the inner fender, which we took pictures of. The hidden number before we did that is correct. And again, it's numbers matching motor, which we've got the casting codes and the stamped engine number clearly pictured. Look at that. It is not, it's hot today, like in the 90s, and it is not running hot at all. Let's have to run it for 3 miles. Now, if you prefer to have this car with the wheels that we found it in the 1977 BFGs, we will gladly swap them out if that's the route you want to go. Probably not what I would do, but okay. Now here's another test. I bet you haven't tested them. It looks it's raining. Let's see if the wipers work. They do. Look at that.
Sweet.
And I noticed you were messing with the fog lights the other day. They working too? Because we picked it up, it had the yellow lenses, now we got the clear lenses, right?
I did not check them. I just swapped lenses.
All right, very good. We don't know if the fog lights work or not. Both mirror.
Everything is there.
Wipers work great though. It's a good car. Horns. I mean, this thing should pass inspection. Don't know why it wouldn't. And we slowed down a little bit on the Shelby rescues, Alex, but they're picking back up.
It's fine by me.
Fine with you. Alex loves working on the Shelbys. It's cool when you get these things in and diagnose the problem, and a lot of the times it's not major. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, that car must have been sidelined because of the engine. A lot of times it's not. I mean, this car, we were confident was sidelined because of the water pump.
Yep.
However, you know, the normal stuff over time had to be done, the fuel system, the brakes, but that needs to be done on anything. It's been set for probably over 10 years. Transmission shifts strong. All those 66 Hertz cars that we had over the years, that automatic, I know it's a special automatic, shifts a little bit stronger as well. Well done, Alex.
Thank you.
Dialed in good enough for a daily driver for sure. I like it. There you go. That includes the test drive with a 68 GT350 Hertz Rental Racer. Thank you guys for watching. Happy 4th of July, and see you next week.
As always, please
Like, tag, share, and follow. And most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next week.